All right, Oval and Sistas fans. This was actually sent to me on. This is from an Instagram post, but a couple people sent it my way in the past hour, and it says, "I'm scared that BET might cancel the Oval and Sistas after season 4 because no show, including reality shows, last on BET for 5 or 8 seasons." Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't The Real Husbands of Hollywood, the one with Kevin Hart and other husbands of Hollywood, didn't that last like 5 seasons? I'll say this much, and I've said this in recent videos. I could see maybe Sisters not lasting too long because we're almost at the halfway point of season 3 and we haven't even heard them say anything about a season 4 yet. Now remember, when season 2 began airing, it was barely 2 episodes in and BET had already renewed Sisters for season 3. Matter of fact, not even 3 days after that official announcement, the cast were already back at Tyler Perry Studios recording season 3. And I said, I honestly don't think season 3 is a great season. It is the worst season of the show so far, in my opinion. And based on the comments and reactions to my video, a lot of people seem to feel the same way. The Oval, it's only in season 2, and I honestly look forward more. I look forward to the Oval more than Sisters so far this season. But season 3 has already been filmed as well. It just hasn't aired yet, and who's to say season 3 won't be like Sisters, where the quality just highly takes a dip. And I've said before, during the Oval season 2, during like the first half, I think that it has improved in a lot of ways compared to season 1. But I feel with it being Tyler Perry and their partnership with Viacom, I could see the show lasting more than 5 seasons. But to be completely honest here, and this isn't a place of bitterness or annoyance or anything, but I would not mind if, let's say, Sisters or maybe even the Oval come to a close around season 4 or 5 if the story pretty much ends. We don't need a haves and have-nots where a show goes on for like 3 or 4 more seasons than it needs to. That's why Greenleaf was so good. And yes, I know there were a lot of unanswered questions and fans weren't as pleased with the finale as they wanted to be. Look, fans weren't crazy about the finale, but it didn't get a lot of backlash like If Loving You Was Wrong and the haves and the have-nots. But I just feel like I'd much rather Tyler Perry closed the door on the Sisters and Oval series before they overstay their welcome. I feel like if the story is getting better, then keep it going, but not too much longer. And especially with Tyler Perry allowing other creators like writers and directors in on other shows, I honestly feel like if Tyler Perry felt like it, he'll either end the show because maybe Viacom decides to end it. But let's be real here. The ratings are really good. I mean, Sisters season 3, the ratings aren't as high as season 2, but it isn't a huge dip. Not to mention, both shows trend each night they come on. So I honestly could say that I would not be surprised if, let's say, Tyler Perry decided to end these shows, but then Viacom is like, hey man, nobody's pumping out material at the rate you are. Can you give us another season of the Oval until these other shows, are able to put out another season of what they got? So my biggest fear isn't so much that Viacom decides to cancel both of these shows. My biggest fear is that both shows get the haves and the have-nots treatment of, hey Tyler, I know you want to end the show, but we need you to make 1 or 2 more seasons so we can get more episodes and higher ratings on Viacom. So that's my biggest fear. If the shows only last 4 seasons or 5, I would be cool with it. But I just feel like BET might do the opposite for these shows, and instead of letting them last for more than 4 or 5 seasons, they'll demand more. Because I honestly feel like Tyler is at a point, and again, I don't know the guy, I'm just kind of speculating here. I just feel like the haves and the Oval and Sisters were kind of like the door openers, and with the success on Viacom, He's like, hey guys, I helped you out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that back seat, and I'm going to allow more people to write and create. So I could see those shows coming to an end, but then other shows will come out because, like I said, I am kind of nervous though, because Assisted Living and House of Pain, their ratings are noticeably decreasing compared to the previous seasons, and it's sad because the writers and directors are not Tyler Perry this time around. Both shows have definitely increased in quality over the previous seasons that Tyler wrote for. So I feel like Viacom could say, well, Tyler, we know you want to step back and allow other writers and directors to create content for the BET network, but the thing is, when we aired season 10 of House of Pain, season 2 of Assisted Living, you had writers and directors who weren't you, and the ratings took a very noticeable dip. So we need you to create more, which really sucks if it does turn out that way. We know that All the Queen's Men is BET Plus, and it's not just Tyler Perry's other writers and directors as well. But I'm very fearful that BET might make the exception of not letting the Oval and Sistas die a peaceful, quiet death, but continue to keep them on life support for the sake of ratings, and by doing so, make these shows a load to watch. Like I said before, season 3 is definitely tanking. So I feel like if there is a season 4 of Sisters, hopefully Tyler will take fan feedback into consideration and increase the value of it. Because like I said, I'd rather let these shows live for maybe 4 or 5 seasons and end on a good note, as opposed to being on the air for far too long. But then again, you could just look at me and say, Jeremy, you tripping. I want the show to continue. But then again, it's like, if these shows come to an end, I'm curious to see what else Tyler Perry has up his sleeves, So let's talk about it in the comment section below. Do you think there is some, reality, some weight to the comment that BET doesn't allow shows to last past a certain season? Do you think there's an exception in place for Tyler Perry? I honestly feel there is, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.